Good morning, Professor. My name is Frank Arteaga, and today I'm going to talk about my individual action research proposal. Well, my project title is the following: Improving Speaking Accuracy through Gamified Mobile Applications in Online Beginners EFL Students. To give you some context, this research was born from a present reality in our virtual classroom. In my teaching context, the online beginners EFL students consistently struggle with the speaking accuracy when using the English. They make a frequent grammatical and phonological errors, and this issue is heavily compounded by a high digital affected filter, meaning these experiencing immense anxiety when asked to unmute their microphones or turn on their cameras. Well, the second turn in this video is the theoretical, reach, and hypothesis. This brought me to my core research question. How does the integration of gamified mobile applications during the autonomous study time impact to oral accuracy of these online beginners during synchronous web conference? Well, my hypothesis is that dedicating just 15 minutes a day to a target gamified mobile application over 6 weeks will drastically improve our students' oral grammatical and phonological accuracy. The logic here is simple. It lowers emotional barriers and maximize automated. Low the stake repetition before they ever have to perform a live on a screen. Well, this choice is deeply anchored in current empirical literature for 2024 and 2025. Authors like Hound 2024 and Han 2024 have demonstrated that the gamified mobile and applications foster what is not as a language-specific read and enjoyment, which directly concern online students' isolation. Furthermore, studies by Tai and Ma 2025 prove that the AI-powered mobile acts a private, non-judgmental, and intercultures to provide immediate phonological feedback. This allows our online beginners to self-correct pronunciation and basic syntax chunks before they join online sessions. This perfectly enables to flip the virtual classroom model, where passive drilling happens to at home on the phone and active communication productions happen live in a real class. Well, the the next we have the methodological design and the data collection strategy. Well, as you can see in the document, I had a map of my data collection strategy using the SpiderMath framework, focusing on three distinct context-appropriate methods. The first one is I will use the digital non-participant observations by recording synchronous breakout room session on Zoom or maybe on Teams. The greatest strength of this method is an online environment is that it allows me, as a researcher, to read thoroughly analyze authentic students' speech without interrupting the conversational flow. The clear limitation, however, is that it is highly susceptible to technical issues like the microphone lag or poor internet connection. The second, I will conduct the virtual semi-instructor focused group interviews via video call. This provides a deep qualitative insight into the student's motivation and help us track if their screen intact anxiety is actually dropping. The limitation is that digital fatigue or camera silence might make some introvert students hesitant to speak up. And third, we'll administer an end of a cycle digital survey via Google Forms. This gives me roughly quantifiable data across the entire cohort regarding application usage patterns. The limitation here is the social desirability bias, where the students might slightly overpour their actual practice time. Because every method has a limitation, we must triangulate. Well, um, the next we have the triangulation matrix and assessment tool. Well, to guarantee the empirical validity and eliminate the personal bias, medicine implements a triangulation matrix across the three essential pedagogical lenses. The student lens captures the subjective experiences of learning through our digital surveys and interviews. The ethical lens captures the objectives performance through my own structured observation checklist applied to the recorded breakout sessions. And the external lens introduce an independent SP language professor to co-evaluate the audio recordings played, ensuring completely objective triangulation. Now, let's look at the assessment tool designed for this innovation. To achieve an excellent mark on our research action plan, this tool moves entirely away from a tradition I have designed a formative innovation rubric especially focused on the tracking the transfer of mobile learning to live interaction. It aims only for the virtual dimension, grammatical accuracy in virtual tags, phonological and articulatory accuracy, strategy self-correction, and the digital tags engagement. For tense, instead of just detection points of the pronunciation sleep, the rubric explicitly tracks whether the students demonstrate a metacognitive awareness to self-coverage in real time, skill-directed training by the imitative feedback loops and the AI-powered mobile applications. But to conclude, the final phase of my proposal centers a continuous reflection cycle. So effectively, this project allows me to look at data scientifically cross-reference applications, using the along with our innovation rubric score to see exactly where phonetic habits persist. Ultimately, this action research project fundamentally shapes my identity as a reflective practitioner. It strengthens my role from a traditional instructor delivering passive and grammar lectures over a screen into an classroom research. It empowers to me to use empirical data to dismantle digital anxiety, bridge the gap between the autonomous technology and the light communication, and build a more inclusive, accurate, and confident virtual classroom for our student studies. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and that's all. Bye.